So many pistols. But today, the main focus is going to be the Kizuna Works PL-15K or KW-15K, depending on the market. Its main competitor is the Raptor Grach. This is a version 1, so some things are different. We have these two wonderful choices. First of all, Kizuna Works. Very similar to a Glock. It has stronger than WeTech internals, but it's to be seen how long these will last. Some realtors in America already have replacement parts for this, which is a good sign. Take a look at slide partitions. And compared to the Grach, a little bit different. The Grach also uses a hammer design. Could be better. I haven't had issues with this snagging, but I have had to redo the oil in this gun. When it came to me, it was disgusting and was clearly using the wrong weight oil, which made this gum up, not work at all. This, on the other hand, did not come with any oil on it. So, two sides of the spectrum. Let's look more these. The Kizuna has a smaller barrel for both of these. I haven't taken this off, so no idea if there's threads. We'll do that later, just haven't done it right now. They have very similar recoil springs. In disassembly for the Grach, this needs to be pulled before the pin can be pushed. On the Kizuna, the pin may be pushed without having to pull this. It makes it a little bit easier. However, I would say disassembly and just general touching of the slide and stuff, I'd be a little bit worried. This doesn't feel like the thickest paint, as kind of see like this is wearing down, and I have not used this that much. For adjusting the hopup, you can use an Allen key on both of these. I've found that the Grach is a lot easier to just do it by hand in a pinch compared to Makarov. Slide off the two parts, basically pull that down, and then right there, that gets turned. So I'm gonna go over the magazines a little bit right now. Grach mags, the seals are okay except for the input. The input one was terrible, or infill one was terrible for me. I had to replace it with one from my AK. It does feel like this could be shimmed a little bit, just like how people do with the PP2K with the older gen routers. Mag weight is roughly the same. I might go grab a scale and see, but this one has, already as I could see, like not the cheapest fucking one they could find. Kizuna does not have ambidextrous slide release, sadly. That would have been amazing. But it does have the good old safety. The safety is way easier to toggle on that versus this. This one has to be broken in. But let me go over that real quick. The Grach has a very long first take up, which is not realistic. I'm 95% sure that the Grach, when it gets racked back, reverts to this. When the hammer is up, I believe there's supposed to be double action, where this would be the double action range. This is very sad, because compared to like these CZs, does work really well. Sadly, Raptor did not do that much. I'll note one other thing. With the Grach, the pin that you push out in order to assemble it is also the slide latch. This is not made out of the best metal. This will fail. It's just a matter of time and a matter of abuse. You can already see how it's chipping away. It doesn't lock back every time. Not an issue with me. I try to at least count my shots out so I know at least when I'm going to run out. Let's mention the differences with that piston cup design. This, even without the oil that it needed, performed very well. It got through an entire mag with no FPS lost. This, on the other hand, needed a little bit of fiddling. Even now, with a properly filled mag, it'll go through times where you pull the trigger and it has a little fart. You point it down, and because there's more gas being able to go through the system, it'll actually cycle. It's weird, but that works. All right, I'll shoot these real quick. If I figure out anything else to talk about, I will. But I believe there's not much else to talk about. This is more of your Glock design. This is a little bit longer than on the real one. It's gonna probably work a little bit easier. Be a little bit lighter, but different flavors. This video would not be done if I did not include a part about the outer barrel droopage. The outer barrel does droop a little bit. With enough hop, you can play around it. However, I did what I did on my Shadow 2. I added a small piece of loop Velcro fabric, and this has remedied it for the time being, and seems to be a pretty good fix. I'll probably leave it on there. Before I shoot, I will note that there is an Allen key right underneath here. This might be to remove this. I'll have to look more. So I only put 3 BBs into the Western pistols. The rest have 10 or more shots. This isn't for consistency or anything, because a lot of that's already out on the internet. I already talked a little bit how the Grach will struggle unless it has the V3 kit. You might as well start with it. My V1 has had a little bit of tinkering, so it does work pretty well. Continue with the Russian pistols. The Makarov, because it's so light, it's pretty violent. I'll go over one other quirk that this has that the other two don't. It is double action. Get a dry fire shot. Glock. older CZ model. One little quirk with this old one, it won't lock back. The spring on this is a little weak. And finally, is all metal beauty. Alright, finish off with some dry fire this. Oh, let me show you the trigger for the Grach and the Kizuna Works. All that loose take up, then it's spongy at the end, which isn't nice. I do know the V3 does come with a different trigger, but it does have a short reset. I'll give it that. Alright, that concludes this look